video that way, so you guys could try that. All right, so this evening, the topic, the headline, right? 20,000, how to do 20,000 from one wholesale deal. And I wanted to do this as a live training, and the reason why that is because there's a deal in the pipeline right now that James has that just went under contract on Saturday. And I'm going to let James chime in here because obviously this is his deal. He put the property under contract. We did an email marketing blast this morning to cash buyers, and we got a buyer over there. What time did we do the blast, James, this morning? 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock?
Like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning.
8, 9 o'clock. Had an interested buyer around what time?
I would say
2 hours.
Yeah, a couple of hours, and then you and him were going back and forth through some of the day. And then around, I'd say 1 or 2 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock, you wanted to see if you can get over there to take a look at the place.
Okay.
The 8.
So okay. So to recap, had the property under and we'll back up, guys, and I'm going to go into a screen share, and we're actually going to walk through the deal in the pipeline. But just to give you a little context on the deal, the property went under contract this weekend. It was marketed to buyers this morning, and we basically, it's not under contract with the buyer yet, but the buyer went out there this afternoon around 2-ish or 1-ish, something like that, liked the deal and wanted to move forward with signing an assignment agreement and wiring a non-refundable deposit tomorrow and closing on Friday. Not this Friday, but next Friday. So it'll be about a 10-day close. Is that about right, James? Is that pretty close?
Yep, that's pretty close. That's about right.
Okay. And then for those of you guys who kind of know me or just getting to know me, tonight you can maybe see behind me. I'll kind of get out of the way. That's the one of the helms on my boat. I actually I'm a liveaboard. For those of you who don't know what a liveaboard is, that basically means I live on my boat full time. My friends like to joke around with me. They say, Ryan, you've got 50 foot a boat and 5 foot a yacht. For those of you who know anything about boats, it's really considered a yacht after 50 feet. So that's why my friends give me a hard time about that. So with that being said, let's move into a screen share here. So I'm going to jump out of this stationary screen and move into FlipLogic. Can you all see my screen? Is it still screen sharing?
It's just got your name and 1888 logo on there.
How about now?
Yep, there it is.
Okay. All right, everybody else good? I'm going to just check in the chat box, make sure everybody else is good. Let me go up here to the chat box. Everyone's yes. Robert says yes. Damon says yes. So, okay. Sharice, were you able to get sound? Robert, were you able to get sound? Because we're going to dive right in. I hope so. Let me know. Robert, yes, he's got sound. All right. Sharice, I hope she's got sound. Pierre's got sound. So I'm gonna. Brian's got sound. So and everybody can see the screen share here. All right. So let's go into it. So when you put a deal when you add a deal to FlipLogic, you can add a new lead here. I mean, you can upload a whole spreadsheet of leads if you want to. You can just import a bunch. It's actually right here, import leads. So this, James, give us some context, give us some background. Where did this lead come from over here at 1350 Cashland Road? Where did this lead come from, and how's it in the system here?
well, we went to the new lead little button up top, and I added it in manually. But it
Okay.
came from one of our deal partners, and they got it through an agent of theirs that was a pocket listing, meaning it is not active on the market. And
Okay.
they sent it over to us because it doesn't fit their buy box, and so we got a chance to take a look at it, run the comp
Okay. So
analysis.
I'm going to stop you right there. So it was a pocket listing. That means that a realtor has a listing. We all know what a listing agreement is, right? So a realtor lists a property. It's on the MLS. The whole world can see it, right? But when a realtor does not have the property listed yet, it's also known as a pocket listing, right? Off market, it's in their pocket. Nobody else knows about it, but the realtor has a relationship with the seller or the property owner. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes.
So this is a pocket listing, and then you got this from a deal partner.
Yeah. Yep.
Who is the deal partner? What do they look like? What do they do every day?
They can be anywhere between being another agent or being another wholesaler or somebody that buys and fixes and flips themselves. But and that was the case in this one. They buy, fix, and flip, but it fits. It's either too far away from where they normally do deals, or doesn't fall within their budget amount of buying and flipping. This one just happened. Perhaps this one so happened to be outside of their area, so they sent it over to us, and I got the agent's information and reached out to the agent and got it put under contract in a couple of days.
Got it. So this came from a real estate investor who their main business is rehabbing. They actually buy, fix, and flip, right? They do it in volume, right? They're like a $50 million fund out of Newport, right? So these guys they're a huge rehab player. They're no small mom and pop 1 to 4 deals a month. They're flipping high volume. They're buying, fixing, and flipping, but they only do burgers, shakes, and fries, right? Burgers, shakes, and fries, and this is a property that didn't fit within their buy box. So instead of trashing it, we have a relationship with them, right, to where if they're not going to buy it, they refer it, right, over to us so that we can put it under contract and market it to cash buyers to wholesale it, right?
Correct.
Okay, and that was the case here. Good.
Yeah.
So tell us, when did you get a hold of the lead?
I got a hold of the lead. I believe it was the 8th, which is
on the 8th.
Yeah, 8th is Saturday.
1, 2, 3, 4 days ago.
Yeah.
On a Thursday.
Yep. Got a hold of it on Thursday. Ran the numbers. Reached out to the agent, gave it to them. They took, I gave it to them. They got it like Thursday evening. They took Friday to take a look at it and review it with the seller. And then, Saturday they sent over, Friday or Saturday they sent over a seller counteroffer, which is basically an acceptance of the original contract. But with a few amendments on the contracts, the escrow company, title and escrow company of which the property is to be transferred, and a couple of other terms and things. But basically, we got accepted at the price that we wanted it at, and that's
okay.
So that was it.
So how would we know what price we wanted at? If we go into FlipLogic, obviously the first thing we got to do, you put in the property address, right, under property details, and then we know the beds, right? We've got 4 beds, 3 baths, 3,200 square feet. It's on almost an acre, right? 40,000 square feet, square foot lot size.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so one of the first things that we want to do, right, is maybe research the public record or on Zillow, right? Number one, just to get familiar with maybe what the price history is, if there's any photos online, that sort of thing. And then maybe you want to speak to the seller or the seller's agent, right? To see, if it's available, how much they want for it, right? What's the best price they can do? What kind of condition it's in? But before we can actually even have an idea of what we want to offer, because any seller can ask for whatever they want, right? That's the asking price. They can ask for whatever they want. But what determines what we can actually pay for it and what a buyer, who's actually going to fix and flip is going to pay for it, comes down to the numbers, right? Simply running the numbers. So then you ran the comps here, right? Fetch the comps. You've got your, Zillow says it's maybe worth 1.1. FlipLogic came up with pretty close, 1.1. And then the rent estimate, we don't have a Redfin estimate, and e-appraisal is about $1 million. So after we look at 3 really good comps, and it's good to support your deals with 3 comps, right?
Yeah.
What did we find the ARV to be here? We came up with $1,050,000.
Yeah,
right?
I came up with about $1,050,000. You can see the top one, 1610 North Cypress. That's like the best one. It is the closest.
Why?
It does
why is that
a little bit more.
Why is that the best? Why is that the best one, do you think?
Because it's got similar bed bath counts. One off on each side. The square footage.
Okay.
The square footage is only 169 square foot difference. So, and they're both large properties. 160 square feet, 170 square feet is negligible. That's fine. And the lot size,
close.
Usually the lot sizes can be, huge, as far as playing a hand in what the value can be.
Yeah.
But the 3,000 square feet is the 3,000 square feet on the lot size and the 170 square feet on the living space is what brings us down to, 20,000 less than that. Than $1,070,000. To make sure to account for the negative portions on our property.
Got it. So this property sold. It just sold a few months ago, like about 4 or 5 months ago, for $318 a foot. So $1,070,000, but $318 a foot. And then you've got these other comps that are a little further out. The square footage is, definitely these are larger, so your price per square foot it shrinks, right? It reduces because, for it to be pretty close to equal, you got to be within maybe a couple hundred square feet, like 200 square feet. These are too large, so the price per square foot gets skewed. So $318 a foot. So if I look at, if I go to the analysis here and look at what you did on the analysis, we got at $1,050,000, we're at $328 a foot. That's pretty darn close. It's pretty right on the money, right? That other one sold at $318. You put $328. The comp sold for $1,070,000. This sold for $1,050,000. That's pretty close.
Yeah. Yep.
Looks good. Okay. And then coming down to our repair costs, because that's the other second big factor for us to be able to come up with our offer price, which is going to be down here below, and we'll get into that next. But you came up with a repair cost of $80,000. How did you come up with that?
There was a Redfin. Redfin is a really good real estate tool besides Zillow. I use both to look for pictures.
Okay, and I'm pulling up Zillow now.
Right,
and the reason here.
The reason I mentioned Redfin over Zillow is just because sometimes Zillow doesn't have all the pictures of the property, and I think Zillow's got a couple, but Redfin had a couple more, and you're able to see like the inside. The outside looks really good. It doesn't look like the outside needs really any work. The inside is what.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I can see the roof looks like it's in good shape. It's got nice tiles.
Mhm.
The stucco looks in good shape. The windows look like they're like vinyl, newer windows. I mean, it definitely, maybe the garage doors, if you wanted to go high end and change those out, maybe you could do that. And then if you wanted to, repaint this, maybe a different color, you could do that. But yeah, it looks it's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, they on some of those
Yeah.
pictures, scroll through, you can see they did some side by side, old and new, old and new stuff. What looks old and what's new, where they did replacements on certain things. But
Uh-huh.
it's the 80,000 should cover a new kitchen and bathrooms. Just to replace that stuff. The paint looks pretty good. The floors look pretty good. And paint is pretty cheap, but everything throughout, it looks pretty good. And
Yeah.
and you can see the asking price that we asked for was around 800 or something, and you can see the sold price right there on Cashland Road, sold for 875.
Yeah. So let's put that into perspective. So you came up with a middle of the road, and if I scroll over the eye right here, you can see we've got good 10 to 20 bucks a foot, bad 15 to 30 bucks a foot, and awful can be anywhere from 20 to 75 bucks a foot. So you went with more of the middle of the road, the bad, which is and you went 25 bucks a foot, and that was just to modernize the kitchen, modernize the bathrooms, and maybe modernize some of the flooring. So 80,000 bucks. That seems like a pretty fair estimate for what's there. It's a middle of the road type rehab. It's not a complete rehab. It's not your.
Not only that, it's $1 million home. And when you get into the higher $1 million home range, you can't go with cheaper appliances or finishes. Stuff costs more.
Right.
So
That's good.
80,
So let's move. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's definitely the middle of the road type of description, of what needs to be done. Not middle of the road by finishes, but middle of the road by what needs to actually be improved. Right? It doesn't need everything. It just, we're talking some flooring, beds, or flooring, kitchen, and bathrooms. And paint. So let's move on down the line here to holding time. So we're thinking 3 months for holding time. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so. 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
The other properties moved at that time.
Okay, so the other comps, what you notice from the sales price history, they sold in about 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
So good. Okay, so we've got 3 months here. So I'll agree with you on that. And then for the mortgage amount, I know the system defaults 80%, an 80% back to the show. So where we dropped off was here at the first mortgage, percentage of purchase and repairs. Now, cash buyers are buying the property, right? That's our objective or our goal, and that's what's happening with this property. Is we're just going to sell it or assign it to a cash buyer. But that doesn't mean they're not going to get a hard money loan, right, or use some sort of financing. And in this case, I can tell you that this cash buyer is going to leverage their cash, and they are going to get a hard money loan. The system defaults for an 80% purchase and repair cost. Now, what does that mean? It means that the buyer would be getting a loan, a hard money loan, where they got to come in with 20% of the purchase price and 20% of the rehab costs. That's just an assumption. I know there's lenders out there where they'll lend 90% of the purchase price and 100% of the rehab costs, right? So the cash buyer only has to come in with 10% down. This is just an assumption. We always assume 80%. Like I said, maybe they're going to buy it all cash. Maybe they're going to get a loan. We don't know how much of a loan they're going to get. It just kind of gives us a budget that's in there. to affect the numbers, right? So that's what it defaults to. Now, James, you priced this at 805, right, for the max rehab price. And for those of you maybe scratching your head going, max rehab price, what's max rehab price? That's what we call the max price a rehabber would want to pay for it. Or if you were going to rehab it, what you'd want to pay for it. That's your max rehab price, right? You wouldn't want to pay any more than that if you were going to rehab the property. Why is that? Well, the system defaults. If I reset this, it'll default to 15% because it just does that when you go over $1 million ARV. Majority of the time, if I set it from here, from the rehab ROI, majority of the time, investors, rehabbers love a 10% ROI. They love a 10% ROI, which is 40% annualized in this case. Kind of give you some perspective, stock market investors, if they can get an 8 to 10% return on their cash in a year, they're pretty thrilled about that, right? On average, the stock market returns 8 to 10%. So if you could do this deal in 3 months, you're making 10% on your money, at least on the actual project. Actual cash on cash is much higher. I don't have that. It'll produce in the pro forma that we can produce. But for your quick, like down and dirty, your quick ballpark, assess the deal numbers, 10% ROI is what rehabbers are kind of looking for. So they make 40% in a year if they turn this deal 4 times over, right? And they would make a net rehab profit of $95,000. And this, let's put this at 805. So you priced this at 805, James. Why'd you price this at 805?
It's a nice round number. Round numbers are more appealing. No one wants to pay 805 and $150 or what have you. And it's a little bit over 10% ROI, which is appealing to somebody that wants to pick it up as a flip. And then it gives us room to go up or down a little bit. If we come to a consensus, me and you come to a consensus on the price. But it's also $1 million home. So a little bit. When stuff gets into the $1 million range, they like 10 to 12%. 12% is more appealing because you're spending upwards of $1 million.
Sure, you're putting a lot of money on the table. You're putting a lot of capital out, so you want more of a return. And got over $1 million ARV. I see guys they like 15%. But also with this deal, what we have to remember is this isn't like a complete. You gotta put in $40 a foot, right? On a 300 this is close to 3,000 square feet. $40 a foot would be like 120,000 in rehab. Do everything, right? We're talking. This is kind of middle of the road rehab. They only have to, and this is an estimate. James just estimated this. He never walked the property. He's just going off of the description and photos he's seen online. This is just a ballpark, right? This is just a working repair cost. The person who's actually going to firm this up is the investor's contractor, right? The investor or the investor's contractor, they're going to go out to see the property, and then they're going to come up with their final number. But we're assuming it's probably going to be in this ballpark, right? So
Right.
to put out 80 grand, plus they're going to put down maybe 10 or 20% down. They're going to borrow the rest, right? And then they're going to make 100 grand on this flip, right? They're going to net 96 with about a 10% ROI over the project. That's a 40% annualized. So that's pretty good. So then you offered 7. So the suggested max cash offer, because if you're going to rehab it, you need it at this. If you're going to wholesale it, which is your intention, you need to be below that 805 number, don't you?
Yeah.
You need to be what the system suggests, an initial cash offer of about 700 or 708 and a max of 775. Now you're over the max, bro. You're over the red line. What'd you do that for? Tell us what you're thinking on that. You ended up at 780.
I mean, you ended up at 780, but even selling at 805, I mean, that's $25,000. And a deal is better than no deal. You know, something is better than nothing, you know?
So I think what I'm hearing is this is just a guideline. This is a guideline.
Yeah.
There's money in the deal. There's money on the table at 7.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because you believe you can sell at 805.
Yeah. And
then of course, how did you write up? Okay. And then of course you wrote up the offer with, and you can generate a contract right through here. So of course you wrote up a purchase and sale agreement with what kind of terms? What kind of terms did you include in your purchase contract?
3-day inspection period and a 10-day close. The agent was adamant about having a quick inspection period and quick close time. Because like we said before, it was a pocket listing. So, you know, it was ready to be put on the market. And I'll tell you, she said she was going to post it on the market for like $965. And then, you know, our 780 price that we got the contract at would have been beaten up, and they probably would have gotten it sold, you know, above 805. So taking the 780, in which she had kind of mentioned before, and, you know, I tried to get it lower, but, you know, if she's just going to post it on the market, it's better to try and market it while we have it. And possibly get it sold, in which we got somebody who's really interested in it. So
gotcha.
25
and then
is better than nothing. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then you didn't have to risk any money, right? You so how long of an inspection period did you use? What did you guys come to terms at on the inspection period?
A 3-day inspection period, and technically it
3-day inspection
till tomorrow, because today, you know, all the banks and everything are closed. Escrow companies are closed. But we got to get over there today anyways and get it walked. And, you know.
So 3-day inspection period and a 10-day close. Is that right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so, and then you put it under contract on Saturday.
Right.
So your deposit period, you don't have the deposit, you have 72 hours, 3 business days to put the deposit in.
Right.
So your business days doesn't even start until tomorrow.
Right.
And you already have a buyer for
Yep. Mm-hmm. And as far as
so you're not even gonna have to put a deposit in escrow on this.
No, definitely not. Someone's going to already do it for us.
Nice. Cool. So, and then if this, so we've got 3 days inspection, 10 days to close. We've got until Thursday to put the deposit in. The email marketing blast. So let's go to the marketing. Cancel that out. So let's go to marketing. You wrote up a little marketing blurb.
Yep.
Right. Nothing fancy here by any means. I can tell. It's not a dig against you. Very simple. I like that. You know, not you want to give some detail, but there's not too many details here. These are just variables. You don't have to change any variables here. Actually, you shouldn't or don't need to. Here's what your message is going to look like. You put a little blurb in here. You know, we know what the city is. We know what's required. It's a cosmetic fixer, and we know what the ask price is and ARV is. So we know that just from your subject line, right? And then if let me see if I minimize this, and then I'm going to just refresh this, and then we'll scroll down real quick. But we'll scroll down through your marketing emails so we can see what it looks like once it refreshes. And then your marketing email, it's going to have all the details in there. So then your investors, your cash buyers can look at it and they can make a decision really quickly. Let me see here. My computer's lagging. me close some of that. My computer ended up restarting, so I had all this stuff kind of slow me down. Let me just log back in here. So while that's loading, while I'm reloading this, does anybody have any questions so far? I want to cut to the chat box over here and see if anybody has any questions so far. If you guys have any questions, please get them in, so then that way I can, get those answered for you guys. But basically what I'm going to show you guys is the marketing email that went out, or actually, let's see if I can just pull it up through my email too while that's loading. So this is actually the email. So this is what the email looks like. It's a little here. So this is what the email looks like that went out. So we can see the thumbnail, the property, beds, bath, square footage, all of that, and then we can see what the numbers look like here, boiled down to the square foot, what their buy price is, net prices, cash on cash return, which is 191% annually, 47% in 3 months. They can see where the subject property is compared to the comps, and they can see what the low comp is, $276 a foot or $1,050,000, which is what James priced that for the ARV. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I don't think I can see the screen though. I don't know if anybody else is stuck under the.
Let me see. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yeah, I can see your screen. It is just stuck under the dashboard. There it goes.
Okay. So it's saying this is the marketing email that went out. So it makes it very easy for an investor to take a look at it and make a quick decision. You priced it in line with the low comp or the low price in the neighborhood. And so that's what made it easy. You're branded, so people know that you're branded. You got your deal all plotted out here, so you're very easy to work with, and people look at that and they go, this dude knows what he's doing, right? I want to dig into this property. I want to give him a phone call.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. So basically, to pick up where I left off here in our marketing pipeline, this is the preview. So this is the final product or email template that went out, right? And then you pulled up your buyers list, selected your buyers, and then blasted it out. Send to selected or send to all.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
Very nice. Cool. And then you can go find more instant cash buyers. You could post it. You could do a marketing post and post it in Facebook or on Craigslist, for sale by owner. You could post it in Facebook, real estate investor groups if you've got a limited cash buyer list, or you could deal partner with you, right? And you can help market the deal. You can help be a sounding board, right? A second pair of eyes if somebody wants to, shoot you a message on the team messenger.
Yeah.
Right? If they want to say, hey, James, I've tried my best. I've tweaked the numbers. Could you take a second look, make sure that, I'm on the right track, give me any feedback, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. A lot of value in that. Could you guys see how that would be something of value unless you guys are all dialed in and you're good to go. But James is here as part of our Platinum deal partnership, where if you want him to be a second pair of eyes, if you want to deal partner with us, or if you don't want to deal partner with us, you just want to utilize the Platinum partnership, and you just want to have James again, dig into there, you can easily just send a message. He gets a link to this lead. He can dig right into the analysis and your comps, and he can help do a review and give feedback on that. So very powerful stuff. And you've got a checklist here to keep you on point, and it's really that simple. It's you're looking for deals, fixer deals with motivated sellers. Sometimes they need more work, and sometimes they don't. And then you're putting them under contract with an offer. If you need proof of funds, we've got our funding right here on our proof of funds. You can generate a proof of funds letter up to $955,000, so you can include that with your offer. So you can put the deal under contract. So then you can then blast it out to cash buyers, or start posting and getting cash buyers to respond, and adding cash buyers to your cash buyer list. So I love it. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Q&A. I know you guys may have some questions. I see some coming in. You got any questions that you guys have, get them into the chat box, and I'll answer them here in the last few minutes, and then we'll close out. Mayan says, how much was it sold for to the cash buyer, and how much was it under contract for? James, hit us with it.
So we picked up the contract for $780,000,
okay.
And we are selling it at $805,000. So
and we're selling it at $805,000. So that's a $25,000 margin.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Very nice. Cool. Any other questions? Anybody have any other questions? Here's a question I've been getting asked. Question that I've been getting asked is, well, actually I don't have any questions in here that have been getting asked. so if you guys have any other questions, get them in, and then we'll close this up and get everybody on their way. So I know Mayan, I know he's a platinum partner of ours, which obviously you can see the value in being able to, knowing you've got James there as a sounding board. That can make the difference between, doing a deal and not doing a deal sometimes, or having a deal under contract that maybe you got it under contract at 805 and you can only sell it at 805, and now you need, a little help, a little negotiation help to get that price down, so you can make a margin on it. So we're very good at turning dead deals into dollars. Brian says, is this an updated version of your 1-888 cash offer? Yeah, 1-888 cash offer, it's a lead generation brand. So 1-888 cash offer, that's who, when you're a gold member, or when you're a gold or a platinum member, you're a 1-888 cash offer franchisee is what you are. So you get your own, like down here below with James, right? You get your own, and this one actually, you get your own email, right? It would be Brian at 1-888cashoffer.com, 1-888cashoffer.com/Brian. You also have your own extension, 1-888 cash offer extension, whatever, 110. So 1-888 cash offer, it's a motivated seller lead funnel is what it is. And so when you're dealing with agents and motivated sellers and they want to know who you are and what you do, and you're a 1-888 cash offer buyer, well, not only do they know what you do from your company name, right, they know how to get a hold of you. It's your call to action. It sets you apart when you send out, direct mail pieces. James, you drop direct mail, right? Maybe some of the biggest margin deals you've ever done is from what?
Yellow letters. Yeah.
Yellow letters. Like this one right here?
Yeah.
Like this one or this exact one?
Actually, that exact one.
So you're telling me this exact letter has made you big money or little money? And be real.
I made $50,000 off of a letter like that. Yeah.
Just from sending out a letter.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you can't, it's a numbers game. You can't just send out one letter and hope to make, $20,000 to $50,000. You got to send out a couple
Of course.
to
Of
a
course.
thousand
Yeah,
of
we're
them.
talking odds and ratios. But the fact of
Right.
the matter is, it's not about sending out a letter. It's about being specific, being branded, using a specific marketing piece and marketing it to somebody who's going to take action once they get that message, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's all I needed to know. So, Brian, to answer your question, that's FlipLogic, the software that we run this through, 1-888 cash offer. That's the that's the brand that we use to get sellers to get off their ass and pick up the phone and call us so we can do what we just showed you here, which was do deal analysis and make a cash offer to where we can get the deal under contract to where we can get it sold. So I hope that helps. All right. Let me see here. Any other questions in closing? Let's see. CJ says I lost access to my account. Clicked on, forgot password, but not reset. Please advise. We will. I will get that back out to you, CJ. We'll make sure that we get you a reset password. So yeah, for those of you who are interested, and for those of you who are already rocking the system, awesome. I mean, you got to put yourself in a position to make offers every day, to send out marketing, to print proof of funds, make offers, do deals. For those of you who are, you're obviously still in the bronze phase, and you're still dabbling, you're in the classroom, you're watching case studies, you're watching the acquisition training. And those are good things to watch numerous times. When you guys are ready to make the leap, when you're ready to start sending out marketing, or you're ready to start calling on for sale by owners, or you're ready to get out there and start driving for dollars, knocking doors, sending out letters. When you want to do that, you can go to FlipLogic.com and you can set yourself up with one of our plans. Silver's our lowest, diamonds are highest, and I'd say platinum is where you want to be if you want to have James really helping you dial in on your numbers, and giving you magic words of what to say and that sort of thing, because it's so easy to turn dead deals on high ticket items like these houses into thousands of dollars. So it's here, it's there for you to take advantage of. You got the support. Proof's in the pudding, as they say. So if we can be of assistance, that's great, because obviously us helping you helps us too. That's our selfish motive, is we want to do deals. We want to do deals, and we want to help you do deals, and we want to support you to do deals. So if we can do that, we'd love to do that. And if you want to do them on your own and not deal partner, that's fine. You can do that too with gold. If you want James to help give some feedback on things, you can do platinum. And if you want to submit that deal for us to handhold the deal, because we'll have a 50% vested interest in the deal if you submit the deal for deal partnering, we're happy to do that too. So, whatever you want to do, we're here. We've got what you need to get deals done, that's for sure. So with that being said, I will wish everybody a good evening. I enjoyed this, and I'll make sure that we do this again soon. All right. Thanks, James, for being here. Appreciate you, being somebody that I could play off of, and thank you for sharing your time and giving everybody some insight into your deal here.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Awesome. All right, everybody. You all have a good night. Thanks, and have one.